And we are live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Nancy O'Keefe's book launch party, the long-awaited, highly anticipated party. Nancy, we're so excited about the launch of Lead with Your Light. Do you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited too. It's been a long time coming. Birthing a book, as probably some of you know, is a long journey. So it's so nice to have it finally come to fruition.
Yeah, and what we're going to do is I'm going to start off. I know many of you already know Nancy and are here to support her book launch, and also some of you may be new. And so I'm going to introduce Nancy to you, and with her incredible background and about her new book that's available today on Amazon, Lead with Your Light. And please put into the comments if you've already purchased your copy. I got mine really early this morning, Nancy. I was so excited.
Okay.
And yeah, so type yes, yes, yes. And once you've gone to Amazon and purchased the copy, just so you know, before we get started, in the description, the Amazon link is right there. So it's either above or below this live stream. So go ahead and grab your copy. And then there's one other piece of business, and that is that in order to participate in the amazing giveaway, which, by the way, I'm going to change slides here, Nancy, and then you can tell people about it. In the giveaway today, in order to participate, you'll grab your copy on Amazon, then you'll come back and you will need to click on the link in the description that gives Facebook permission to share your profile picture with StreamYard so that you can participate in the giveaway tool, which is actually a lot of fun. And we'll walk you through. Hello. You're already receiving hearts. I'm so glad you're here. Please say hello in the comments so we can see who you are. And I'm so glad you're here to support Nancy's book launch. Let me dive in. Once you put it in the comments, go ahead and say hello in the comments. Tell us where you're from. That would be amazing. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce you, Nancy, and then we're going to get started. So, and give people a chance to say hello. All right. Nancy O'Keefe is a certified human design business and leadership coach who guides women entrepreneurs in impactful service businesses to make a bigger difference by leveraging their human design. That's what we're talking about today. Lead with Your Light is about how to apply human design to your business. She helps her clients peel back the layers of who they have been taught to be and how they have been conditioned to do business so that they can awaken their business genius, embrace their authenticity, step into their leadership, and naturally attract their clients so that they can build an abundant and sustainable business that they love. I love that so much. Welcome. Hello, Pamela. Pamela is here. Say hi.
Hi,
Pam. And if you've just joined us, we're so happy you're here for Nancy O'Keefe's book launch party. And please go ahead and say hello in the comments so that Nancy can see that you're here supporting her. That's awesome. And Nancy is a best-selling author. She's an expert columnist for Aspire magazine. She's a certified executive coach from the College of Executive Coaching and holds an MBA from Babson College in entrepreneurship. So welcome to the party. Thank you for being here to join Nancy and just in celebrating the launch of this impactful book. And I would love to go ahead. Let me see. Say hello. Beth Myers is here. Say hello.
Hi, Beth. Hey.
Okay, you can't join the stream. Okay, then what you could do is refresh your screen. Hit the refresh button and we should appear on your screen. So that's for everyone. I'm actually glad you brought that up. And Diane is here. Hey, Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Yeah. Okay, good. And yes, great. Beth is excited to share.
Thank you,
and
Beth.
Celebrate with us. Yay. Please say hello and refresh your screen so that you can see us. And actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and just put that in the comments really quickly. Refresh your screen.
The wonders of technology.
Us. Yeah, there's so many little things, but there we go. Okay, perfect. And there we have it. All right. So Nancy, I want to go ahead and give a little bit about the background of your book, and then we'll just dive straight into the interview questions. If you have questions for Nancy, please post them just when you think of them. And Nancy will make sure to answer any questions that you may have. Okay. And so go ahead and okay, Amy's here. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Yay, this is fantastic. And just so you know, one last thing is, and if you're just joining us, be sure and say yes, you've purchased the book. And then we're going to do the giveaway. And Nancy, do you want to talk now about what these prizes are, just so people know?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
I've created a card deck for Lead with Your Light, which is a series of coaching questions that help you move from the shadow to the light. And that with a little journal, it's like a mini little journal so that you can look at the cards and contemplate and then write your thoughts in your journal. That's the first prize. I'm very excited about that. You're going to be getting, the winner gets the first copy off the press of that deck. I don't even have the whole run printed yet. So this is like the first one in existence. And then secondly, a free session with me to go over your human design and really talk about anything you want in terms of your design. We'll spend 60 minutes together looking at your chart and understanding how that impacts your business, your leadership, your relationships, really anything you want to talk about. And finally, I'm going to be launching a new workshop that I'm calling the Leadership Awareness Intensive, which we're going to take a very hard look at your individual chart, your leadership, how it shows up, and start to think about why you are not maybe stepping into leadership when you want to. So that's going to be a very exciting one-day event, and you'll get a free seat to that, which I'm really happy about.
Wow, amazing. I love this where people get to work with
Hi,
you directly.
Ankara.
Yeah. Yay. Okay. I'm so excited about the giveaway, and we're going to dive right into that. But first, we're going to talk about your book. I'm going to just read a little bit of the description, and then we'll dive into the interview. And please, whatever questions you have, just post them, and we'll make sure to get to them throughout our hour together. So thank you all so much for being here.
And before you start, Tamara, I'd like to introduce you. Tamara is my book publisher, and she's been amazing throughout this whole process. I couldn't have done this without her. So Tamara, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been such a joy. I am so thrilled that we've had this opportunity to work together, especially in such an important book and message that you're getting out to the world today. So thank you so much for your kind words, Nancy. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm going to actually go ahead and get started. Lead with Your Light is a new era of self-empowered leadership and authentic influence. And as we have this navigate this major energetic shift in humanity, it gives me chills just even saying that. The date is February of 2027, but the shift is already here. And I know you're going to talk about that today. We are redefining leadership. Everyone is a leader. Leadership doesn't need to be developed in the traditional sense. You were born with it. You only need the awareness of how leadership shows up in you and the freedom of self-expression to share it. I love that so much. Human design shows us that we're all unique. We're here with a purpose and a specific contribution that only you can make. Claim your right place in the world. And I love what you say, Nancy, that none of us are here to play small. The world needs our contribution. So it's time to step out of our shadow of who we were taught to be and instead lead with your light. I love this so much. I mean, I literally have chills. It's just so powerful. So let's dive in and talk to us, Nancy, about what inspired you to write Lead with Your Light and what you hope that readers will take away from this.
Well, it's funny because I wrote a book called Values-Based Choices 11 years ago. And that book, after I finished it and read it, I thought, why did I write this book? It has nothing to do with my business. And it was really sort of a rant about what I saw happening in the business world and how leaders were just not really helping people fulfill their dreams, and how the American dream was slipping away, and it was all about the profit and less about the people. And that's what that book was about. I tried very hard to get that book to align with my business consulting practice at the time, and I just couldn't do it. So I very disappointedly put it on the shelf, and that was the end of that. 11 years later, I had a dream in the middle of the night, and a voice told me, read your book. So I got up. It was very powerful, like they were standing next to me, even though it was a dream. I got up and I went into my office and I looked for a copy of the book. Couldn't find a copy of the book. It had been 11 years. I had moved. I don't think I still had a copy. So I went out to Kindle and bought one. And I sat in my office and I read the book. And afterwards, it was a quick 90-minute read. It was, wow, this book has everything to do with my business. Because in the 11 years that had passed, I learned about human design. I shifted my focus in my business to really helping people be really who they are, become themselves. And this was about everyone being a leader. So I then thought, well, I need to write the rest of this book. And the rest of the book, part 2, is about where leadership lives in your human design and how you can get at that and develop it yourself. You don't need someone to help you develop it. You need to just awaken it and choose to use it. And that's really what the rest of the book is about.
I love that. And can you tell, for those of us who maybe have never heard the term human design, can you explain it to us so that we fully understand what you mean?
Yes, human design is like your energetic blueprint. We all know about physical DNA. Well, you have an energetic DNA, so to speak, and that's your human design. It's really how you're wired to operate in the world. It involves a lot of your aura, your chakras. It comes from a number of ancient systems, including the Chinese I Ching, which is over 3,000 years old. And it also involves modern science, quantum physics, as an example. So it's really a way to understand your soul. That's the way I think of it. And, you know, we talk about your soul living in a body, and the soul is really what's running the show. But unfortunately, we have become conditioned over the course of our lives to follow certain rules, be a certain way. You know, parents, well-meaning parents, teachers, society, even advertising have shaped the way we act and what we believe we should do, when in fact you have this blueprint inside of you. And human design is a wonderful tool for helping us get at how you really are wired to be. It's about how you're here to be, what your soul is here to contribute, and all the natural gifts and talents that you have as part of that design to support you in making that contribution. I've used a lot of assessments in my career helping people develop their talents. And once I got wind of human design and started to study it, I could no longer pigeonhole people into 16 types or 4 categories or whatever the assessment did. It just didn't work for me anymore because everyone is unique. And the differences are the juicy part that we don't pay enough attention to, frankly.
That's so interesting. And so with human design, once you know your own human design, then how do you then use it effectively as a leader?
Well, you can use it in any number of ways. One of the ways is a relationship. So I need to redefine the term leader, because we think of leaders as somebody who's selected to lead the group or invited to aspire to leadership, when nothing is further from the truth. We need leaders everywhere in the world. You're a leader just if you influence someone. Have you ever recommended a book, or have you ever told somebody about a movie that you went to that you really loved? That's influence, and influence is leadership. So let's get that out of the way first. And then, where do you influence? Where do you lead? Everywhere. In your family, your community, if you do volunteer work, in your career, in your business. And if you aspire to politics or something more, you lead there as well. But leadership is everywhere. And I think it's important for people to recognize that they're already leaders. They just need to claim it.
I love that so much because you're right. In my mind, I had leadership, I think, in a kind of more of a narrow scope. So I love that you're saying that you're leading every day when you're just making a recommendation of something that's a book that's
Right.
important to you that you think will help someone, or like lead with your light, right? Like
Yeah.
it's that's so interesting. So it's really expanding that whole concept of what leadership is. And let me say hello to everyone who's just now arrived. Please say hello in the yay. Sandra Warren is here
Hi,
and saying
Sandy.
hello. And Carrie's here.
Hey,
Yay. Hi,
Carrie.
Carrie. And Beth is there. I think Beth maybe already said hello. Lisa Tenner's
Yeah.
here. Hey, Lisa.
Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, how nice. Okay, wonderful. So glad to see you all here. So let me ask you this. You say that everybody is designed to be a leader. Can you talk to us further about I know you mentioned like the shadow of leadership, and you know the shadow of who we were taught to be. Tell us more about that.
Well, the shadow, first of all, every energy has what I call a light side and a shadow side. So you can be operating in the light side, which is the highest expression of that energy. For example, in my conscious sun, I have gate 8 in human design, and that's the gate of fulfillment, but it's also about being authentic. And my sole purpose in the world is to be my authentic self. But if I were operating in the shadow of that, I would be more imitating. I would be somebody who was not original. My job is to be original and innovative. And if I wasn't doing that, I'd be living in the shadow. So when we live in the shadow, we shortchange ourselves and we shortchange humanity because we're here to do something with that energy that we're not doing. Another great example is gate 6, which is the gate of impact. You can make an impact that's widespread and helps others, or you can make an impact that's more selfish and self-serving. So that's a demonstration of sort of the light and the shadow side. And it's not a switch you flip. You don't say, oh, well, I'm going to operate in the shadow today. It's a continuum, so to speak. So if you're, down in the shadow area of an energy, you can, and the book talks about this, you can transform that and work to get into the light by just understanding the different areas that you need to look at in your life and examine, how am I being? It's about how you're being, not what you're doing. And it's
Mm-hmm.
important that we all try to aspire to be in the light. Now, the highest level of being in the light is basically Mother Teresa energy. And it's probably not possible or feasible to be operating in that energy all the time. But we want to be headed in that direction as much as we possibly can. Life happens and things occur that make us, traverse that continuum. But the object is to really step into the highest being that you are, and then sharing that with the world through your wisdom, your experiences, just putting it out there and helping to inspire others to do the same.
I love that. Nancy, this would be, I think, a really nice time for you to read an excerpt from
Okay.
your book. And then after that, we're going to do a drawing for the first prize. Okay?
All right. Super. Well, this is an excerpt from chapter 11. Um, and it explains a little bit about what's going on in the world. So I'll start with that. So since 1615, we have all been operating under energy referred to as the cross of planning. This energy is about growth based on systems, hierarchies, institutions, logical structures, and expansion. The focus is on planning, problem solving, growth through hustle, and following structured paths. We have been encouraged to conform and hide our differences, first in the name of protection, and then gradually moving to protective control to minimize any chaos that might be caused by a fast-growing population. On February 15th of 2027, and for the next 400 years, we move out of the cross of planning and into the energy of the cross of the sleeping phoenix. This new energy is about self-empowerment, individual responsibility, encouraging individuals to step into their personal power and trust their intuition. It's about being in alignment with oneself, honoring the differences found in others, and grouping based on shared values rather than just affiliation. The future will be created through alignment, innovation, individual self-expression, inner wisdom over convention, and trusting our intuition. The old systems and institutions will no longer serve us, as they have for the last 400 years. We will all need to step into our potential and become self-empowered leaders as we enter the new era. This energetic shift is already happening and has been for decades. February 15th is simply the peak or the culmination of this event. As we move to the new energy paradigm, it will probably take a few more decades before we have fully made the transition to the new energy. Many of us are already feeling the pull of this new energy. There's a general restlessness in people and a sense that there's something more. Many people are looking for deeper meaning in what they do for work or struggling to find more meaning in their life. The increase in people quitting their jobs from the Great Resignation and then in the quiet quitting movement is an example. People feel a sense of dissatisfaction. They may not know it yet, but they are readying themselves for this change. People are generally dissatisfied with traditional jobs. We are seeing more and more people strike out on their own and leaving the structure of traditional work and jobs behind. People are re-examining their values and looking for more balance in their lives. They don't want to spend their whole life working and waiting to get 10 to 20 years of enjoyment that we call retirement. We can see the shifting energies in the way traditional roles are changing and have been for several decades. More mothers work, more fathers stay home and play a bigger role in raising their children. We also see the world of business changing. We went global, but now we're rethinking that. Maybe outsourcing isn't better. Maybe bigger isn't better. Maybe there is no one right way to do things. The pull is in the direction of the individual. Tried and true marketing strategies and techniques aren't working as well as they used to. The consumer is getting smarter and demanding more and more truth so they can make their own choices. People are choosing to make and do with less. Less house brought on by the tiny house movement, and young adults choosing to rent versus buy. We want to shed the life that was filled with what we should do and rediscover what we want to do. We want to be seen as individuals, not homogenized into labels that don't describe us. Our differences make us juicy, and we want to be seen and accepted for who we are. Who could have imagined 100 years ago that we would be having conversation about more than two genders? People are changing. Let happiness be your guide. Everyone is wired energetically for success, satisfaction, peace, and joy in your highest expression. This is your potential. Everyone has potential. Realizing your potential is determined by how closely aligned your life and your work is to your energy, and whether you are expressing the energy you have from the light side or from the shadow. The point here is that we are all wired for the best possible outcome, and we are fast coming to a point in our evolution where we will no longer be content to settle for what we are told will make us happy. In this awakening, we don't want our structures and institutions or social conventions to tell us what to want. We want to define it for ourselves. The problems we face with this is that many of us don't know how.
And that's what your book is showing us how to do. Yeah. And in picking that excerpt for us, what is the message you'd like us to take specifically? Like,
there's a lot going on in the world, and sometimes it's very difficult to deal with and keep your focus. But if everybody focuses on themselves in a positive way and tries to get to their highest potential, we will transverse this energy shift in a way that can make everything better for every one of us. We all have a job to do. The fact that you're here right now during this transition means you're here to participate in ushering this shift for humanity into place. Do your job.
I love this so much. And you're leading the way for us to understand how to incorporate human design and to pay attention, right? We have the leadership within us. It's really just untapping it. It's discovering our own human design, right? And how we can, because it'll make it easier for us, right? Because it almost feels like we're going against the grain because we're trying to lead in the way in our life that we've been taught to lead, especially women. So I love that you're really taking this on.
And being yourself is effortless. I have a
Yeah.
small exercise. Maybe people can do it. It just takes a minute.
Yes,
but if you
please.
have a piece of paper and a pen handy, sign your name in the hand that you don't normally write with. When
Okay,
you
give us a
sign your
second.
name, sign your name
Okay.
with the hand you don't normally write with.
Okay.
And how does it look?
Everyone?
What does it feel like?
Awkward.
Awkward. It's hard. I have to really think about it. It looks terrible. Those are usually the comments I get. Now put the pen in your other hand and sign your name.
Okay. It flows.
It's effortless, right? You do it without thinking. You could close your eyes and it would look beautiful. And that's really the difference between living with your human design as you are designed to be and trying to live the way somebody else told you to. Can you do it? Yes.
Beautiful.
If you practiced it, could you do it fairly well? Yes. But is it natural? Is it comfortable? Is it easy? Does it flow? No.
That was like the perfect exercise because it explains it exactly what you're saying. It's like just embrace the flow as opposed to trying to do it somebody else's way. I love this so much. Everyone is loving this. Okay. Laura says,
awesome.
Love this.
Hi,
Laura. Christina was here. The Christina is here. Sadie is here.
Hi, Christina.
Oh,
Hi,
thank
Sadie.
you all. Thanks so much, all of you, for being here. So let's do the drawing. Should we do the first giveaway prize, everyone? Okay, let me pull up the prize. I'm going to just quickly go like this. So this is what I need you all to do. I would like you to please, in the comments, do hashtag the word lead, because you are meant to lead. All capital, LEAD. And then our giveaway tool is going to be able to pull in, once you put that hashtag lead, LEAD in all caps, then the tool will pick it up and we'll do the drawing. Now, the first prize, just so you remember, and if you joined us a little bit later, Nancy, tell everyone the first prize.
It's this really cool card deck. This is the first and only one in existence, which will be yours. And it's a series of coaching questions. So it's really an accompaniment to the book. It has suits, things like values, communication, authenticity, and you can pull a card in a given suit if you're struggling with an issue around that, or you can just lay it out and use it like an oracle deck and see what comes up for you. And it's really thought-provoking questions to help you traverse from the shadow, if that's where you are, to the light.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first prize, we're going to do a giveaway. I see all the leads. Yay, yay, yay. Wait a minute. Let's see. Pamela, you did the kissy face, which I love, but then you won't be pulled into the tool. So I need you to put a hashtag, although I love the kissy face. So make sure, like Carrie did and so many others, do put the hashtag LEAD. And then we'll be able to use the tool. So let me just jump over to the tool. And okay, wait a second. I just have to share the screen and we should be good to go. Just give me one moment. And share screen. Okay. And hopefully, let's just make sure that you can all see the screen. Okay, here it is. It's added to the stage. Wait. There, can you see it now?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to hit collect. All right, here we go. Wait, it says, okay. Start collecting. Why is it saying no entries here? Come on. Okay, what we're gonna do is, I don't know why that is not happening. I'm just gonna try it one more time. Stop sharing.
It is a Mercury retrograde, you know.
I know, actually. Okay, and if it doesn't work, don't worry. We're going to just do random selection, and I'm going to do it with my eyes closed, and that will work perfectly as well. So, because for some reason, the tool is deciding to. Okay, wait. I'm going to share again, just one more time, and if not, I'm not going to take any more time with it. Share screen. Share screen. Here's the tool. And share lead. Yeah, it's not going. So no worries. I want to do refresh, but I don't want to because I'm afraid to lose everybody.
Yeah.
So, so what we're going to do is I'm going to close my eyes and actually I'm going to go like this on the screen and I'm going to point and we'll just have a winner. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I'm scrolling everybody's comments. And I clicked on one. It's Sandra Warren.
All right. Yay, Sandra.
Okay, Sandra just won the cards. Sandra Warren. Okay, awesome.
I don't even have to ship those. Sandra lives in the same area of South Carolina that I do.
Oh, that's so perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
So Sandra's the winner of the cards. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and post your questions to Nancy now, and if you will, and just so that we can make sure to have time to really dive into the answers that you are interested in learning from Nancy. And then I also wanted to ask you, Nancy, while people are putting their questions into the comments, the book speaks to women entrepreneurs who are done following someone else's formula. We talked about this. What does conditioning typically look like, and how does it show up in the way that women run their businesses?
Well, we have a set of business rules that are just inherent in doing business. One of them I kind of mentioned already is that you don't bring your emotions to work. You don't bring your emotions to work. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't know how you build a trusted, solid relationship with a client if you can't be a little vulnerable and have some emotions. That just doesn't work for me. But there's a lot of unwritten rules about everything in business, how you write a memo, what you wear. Look at all the rules around fashion. How many women here stuff their foot into a 3-inch high heel with pointed toes that felt terrible and uncomfortable, took them off under your desk? We all did it. Why? Because the fashion industry and the media told us that's what we needed to look like. There's a persona that we need to create in order to be a successful businesswoman. I'm here to tell you, I am sitting at my desk with my slippers on. I do not have high heels on, and I don't even own a pair of 3-inch high heels anymore. I have thrown them all out because I am just done with that. And I think that women are getting to the point where they are done with that. With the bro marketing, we see that now all the time in marketing, the manipulation, all the things that we've been taught to do, the scripts that we've been taught to use in our marketing. If you look at human design, that's initiating energy, and only 9% of the population has initiating energy, our manifestors. So that sales process that we've been taught to use, just go out and do it, make those cold calls and all that other stuff, doesn't work for 91% of us.
Wow.
No wonder we don't want to do it. The result is we don't do it, so we don't have enough sales. I see this all the time in the business owners I work with. Why don't I have any sales? Well, you're not really working to make any sales because the way you've been taught to sell feels really yucky. And that's just another example. But we've been so conditioned in terms of the rules around business. So I say, let's break the rules. There is one way to do business, and it's your way. Everybody's way is different. So if you're doing anything because somebody else told you to, stop and evaluate that. Make sure when you, again, human design tells us we have a decision-making center in our body. When you inquire with your decision-making center if this is the right aligned thing for you to do, you'll know. You'll know because your body will tell you. You'll get a gut feeling, or you'll feel a groan in your stomach, or the willies, or something. You'll get a clue, and you know that that is not the right thing to do. Don't be afraid to step out and be who you are. That's really the whole message in this book, is be who you are. You are divinely designed a certain way. Don't let anyone else tell you what to do that doesn't feel right. Stop settling for less than you can have because it doesn't mesh with what the status quo believes you should do. Don't just relegate yourself to one of those female jobs like secretary, nurse. I mean, years ago, they actually told us there were basically 5 things we could do when we graduated high school. We could be a nurse, a teacher, a secretary, a homemaker. There might have been one more. I can't think of it right now. It's ridiculous. You can do anything you want to do.
Yeah, I love this so much. And so does everyone else. Carrie's saying, be who you are. Amen. Yay.
Yeah.
And Beth says, let's break the rules.
All right.
Like Burger King, do it your way.
Love it. Have it your way.
Oh, yeah.
I
What
just
interesting
like to
perspective.
say one more thing about breaking the rules. I have coined a phrase called the leadership threshold. Because as I mentioned, we're all leaders. You're a leader. You have opinions. You have recommendations. You can guide people. But there's a threshold. It's like a doorway we're afraid to step through. And the reason we're afraid to step through it has everything to do with that conditioning. Because we've been told that being accepted is the most important thing in the world. And being liked and accepted go together. So we are afraid to buck the status quo for fear that we will be rejected, or that we will be lonely because we're doing something different, or people won't like our ideas, or they think we're stupid, or some other ridiculous thing. And when you are at that threshold, letting that negative self-talk talk you out of stepping across and being who you came here to be, that's what we need to work on. That's what we need to get to the point where we're confidently and courageously stepping across that threshold and being who we came here to be in a big way, so that we can help others. And when one of us rises, we all rise. We know that saying, a high tide rises all boats. I probably got that wrong, but that's really what we need to do. We need to help each other, and we need to do that quickly, because things are not good in the world. And I really believe we are. Hi, Patricia. We are the answer. Women are the answer. We just need to step up and really claim it.
And in that vein about the boats, all of us rise, is how do you suggest then that we support each other in this way? Because when people step out and are bold, I think with our conditioning, it's like you're kind of breaking the rules. And I know you're saying break the rules, but how do you actually in like real life just embrace it to a point where you're like attracting other people to join you?
Well, we're magnetic to begin with. You will attract the people that you're meant to attract. You're not going to be for everybody. And that's okay. Because, if I have 5 people that I attract who get my message, it resonates with them, and they make a positive change in their life, that will ripple out, and each one of them will impact 5 more and 5 more. It's like the old, what was it, the Breck shampoo commercial or something? They tell one and they really, that's really what it's all about. So if you just step in and own it and stand in it and don't let anybody talk you out of it. The other piece you can do to raise your frequency is get off the judgment train. We are so judgmental in our society and critical of one another. We need to stop that. We need to stop judging. If we believe that we're all unique, and we believe that each one of us has a contribution to make, then we should not be judging each other for what we're doing. We really need to be supporting each other by saying, okay, Tamara, that's great. I understand your belief, and I don't agree with it maybe, but I'm not going to cut it down. I'm not going to criticize it. I'm not going to gossip about you. I'm not going to be involved in that kind of negative energy that detracts from what you're trying to do. And that's a really big thing we have to overcome in our society. We fear people that are different. We fear them. There's nothing to be afraid of, but yet we fear them. We fear them to the point where we start wars and have racial injustice and other horrible things that we do to people in the name of fear. So fear and judgment are the two enemies of really being able to step into who you are and be yourself.
Mm, it's so important. It's so powerful. And I wanted to just show you, just to see, so you can see just the people are just loving what you're saying, Nancy, because it's just so relevant
Great. Thank
and
you, Diane.
important. Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, Beth saying, get off the judgment train. Yeah.
And let's not
Uh,
be afraid to talk about it. Let's start a conversation about what's right, what we believe in. We really need to get the word out. And oftentimes we're afraid that we're going to be viewed as, I don't know, political or something, but it's not about politics. It's not about anything but your inner truth. And share that inner truth, share your experiences. People can benefit from what you've gone through. People can learn, maybe avoid some pitfalls that you talk about. You've experienced it. Help people out by just sharing. Let's just get real and care enough about one another to want to make everything better just by being ourselves. It sounds so
that's so,
easy, but yet it seems to be so hard.
I know, but it really is. And I think that's one of the things with Lead with Your Light is that you're showing people that it's actually easy. And even with signing our names, you're showing that we have this ability to just flow. And we're just, instead, we often get caught up in the judgment and all these things, but that's really taking away from what we're here to do.
Right.
And I also love what you were saying too about just that once we step into being authentic, how we will attract that type
Yes.
of energy and create that ripple effect that of goodness that you're wanting to. It's so important that we share, especially now in these times. So let's do this. I ask your questions. We only have about 15 minutes left. It's hard to believe this time has just flown by. We're
I
going to do the
know.
next. I know, right? We're going to do this next giveaway, by the way, also. That is so amazing. This is an hour session with Nancy. Nancy, do you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, we'll dive
Like,
deep into your chart. We can look at your leadership, your relationships, your business, whatever you want. 60 minutes of diving deep into your human design chart.
okay, awesome. And I am going to just spin the chat and go ahead and turn I literally cannot see. So here we go. Is everybody ready? Drum roll. Okay, I'm closing my eyes. Okay, and we are on Beth Myers.
All right, Beth.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so Beth is going to receive the 1 hour session with you. Okay, and we'll follow up afterwards and make sure that Nancy connects with you. Okay, perfect. And so, does anyone have any questions for Nancy before we continue on with asking Nancy about the shift? In terms of this, I know we touched on the shift that's happening, but I also think that you were wanting to talk further about that and how it applies to us right now.
Yeah. I would like to speak to the fact that the world is a hard place to live in right now. There's a lot going on, and my heart goes out to everyone who's suffering in some way because of the strife we're experiencing. But I also know deep in my heart that change is hard, and this shift is happening whether we want it to or not. And we can either go kicking and screaming, which some people are, and that's what's causing some of the strife, or we can embrace it and be a part of creating it and have a say in what it's going to look like by being ourselves and putting our work out into the world. A lot of people are living in a lot of fear right now. I really believe there's nothing to be afraid of. This is what's happening because it has to happen for us to make this major change in the way we operate as a human, center. We're just going to be so different as humans when this is all done. And I hope I live another, say, 30 or 40 years to see it, because I really believe there's going to be a much better, more peaceful world on the other side of this. But what you're feeling and seeing on the news and all that is fear. It's fear. Don't buy into the fear. Make the transition gracefully by understanding who you are, awakening your own leadership, your own talents, understanding what your soul came here to do, and making your contribution. So you can be that rock in the pond that ripples out the good effects of what we're here to do. That's how we help usher in the transition. When you have a role to play, which you all do because you happen to be here right now, you're either a keeper of the wisdom from the old era that we need to move through to the new era, or you may be someone who's a bridge who's here to help people transition to the new era, or you may be somebody who's here to create the new era. And if you want to know more about that, you can contact me. It's an individual thing, so I can't really talk too much about it to a group. But once you understand what your role is in the new era, it's easy to let go of the fear, and it's easy to just do your part. It's hard if you're living where the bombs are dropping. I can't imagine what that would be like, and I hope I never have to. But let's everybody do what we can to shorten the cycle of this transition to the point where we get out of the fear and the things that are horrible going on, and we move into more peace and more tranquility.
It's such a message of hope too, especially now because I think people are feeling like, what can we do? And you're telling us what we can do, and that's tapping into our own human design, our own leadership, so that we can. And I love also that the way that you framed it at the beginning too, where it doesn't have to be these huge acts like of leadership,
No.
but we can do daily small acts of leadership that create this ripple effect. And
Exactly.
in turn touch people's lives, who turn around and touch other people's lives, and like that.
And it can
That's
be
really
something
powerful.
as simple as a smile. I once did an experiment. I decided that whenever I encountered somebody that was not looking too happy, I was going to make eye contact and smile and try to get them to smile back at me. I spent a lot of time in airports waiting for flights in my business life. So these are the things I did to amuse myself. But it was amazing how it really worked. And you could see their whole body language shift when they smiled. So it can be something that simple. Leadership can be something that simple, but it's profoundly impactful. I hope the person that I caused to smile had a better day.
Yeah.
Even if you just do that for somebody, that's leadership
Oh, I
in
love
my
this so
definition.
much. Yeah, and I love it so much because it just makes it doable, right? And that's just fantastic. Oh, Vanessa's here. Eye contact and smile. Yeah, I
Hi,
love that too.
Vanessa.
Yay. And Diane said, I love the following quote. Peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart.
Oh,
Beautiful.
beautiful.
And Beth says, hope, yes, the book can provide that for us, and encouraging our own leadership and light. Ooh, I love that so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So if you have not gone yet to Amazon and grabbed your copy, please do, to support Nancy's, not just her book, it's really her vision and really her global vision for all of us, and we play a part in it. And so this is so much bigger. It's a movement that we all can be a part of with Nancy's leadership through Lead with Your Light. And so I'm really hoping that you will not only get a copy for yourself, but share it with your friends and colleagues who can benefit as well, because that also is a ripple effect, right, Nancy? Just getting it into the hands of people where
Right.
even the smallest little, if you get one thing from this book, and I know you're going to get so much more, but if you get one thing from this book that you put into practice, you really have the ability to change the world, right?
Yes.
On a global scale.
And I work primarily with women, but this book really is for everyone. I'm not excluding the men. This is not a gender issue. It's an energetic issue. So, yeah, my mission is to elevate, women in the world so that we can restore that balance to leadership in our globe. But it's also about living a fulfilling and successful and happy life. And that's for everybody.
Yeah, I love that so much. So let's do this. We have one more prize to give away. And if you have, please, if you have, yep, I think we did that. If you have any questions for Nancy, please do let us know. And because you have her here. This is your chance to have Nancy all to yourself. I love this so much. Yeah, Carrie said, fear, false evidence appearing real. Oh, I love that,
Exactly.
Carrie. That is so true. And then Sandra said, fire horse energy, a rally for a feminine shift in power. Beautiful. I love that
yes.
too.
Yes.
That is beautiful. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, the
I love
timing is
every.
definitely, the timing is right. This is the time.
Yeah, I love this too. Just all of you here are just so dialed in and here to support Nancy, and it's just making me so happy. I love it. And Diane just said she got her copy. Yay. Okay, so here we go. Are we ready for, let me jump in and show you what the prize is. And here it is. Go ahead, Nancy, and tell them about the free seat.
Yeah, this is going to be a VIP style day-long intensive where we will give you a report specifically designed with your leadership in your chart highlighted. And we are going to go through that report, and we're actually going to do a lot of things, including help you cross the leadership threshold. So at the end of that intensive day, you'll be in a position where you feel really confident about stepping out and being yourself and being the leader that you are. So I have a tentative date for this. I believe it's May 6th. Stay tuned. If you're the winner, you get a free seat, and I'll let you know as things develop in terms of date and so on. It'll probably be from 11 a.m. to 4:30. So it'll be just a day-long intensive. And I just want to look at my calendar real quick, make sure I'm giving you the date right. Yes, I have it tentatively set for May 6th.
What an incredible opportunity. That is a wonderful prize. Okay, so here we go. I'm closing my eyes.
And it'll be virtual, by the way, virtual.
Okay. And the winner is Christina.
Christina, yay.
Awesome. Okay, wonderful. So you can connect with Nancy about that, but what a great opportunity. Okay, my friends. So Nancy, I wanted to ask you this. I know we have just a few more minutes, but I do want to ask you what you would say to a woman. And, I know you just expanded that beyond, it's not a gender issue. It's really about stepping into your leadership. But what would you say specifically to a woman who doubts her ability to lead?
You're a leader and I can prove it.
Oh, I love that. Okay, tell us more.
When I show you your human design and where your leadership lives, you will be blown away. I can prove it. And I've done hundreds and hundreds of readings, and I know this emphatically. Everyone's got leadership characteristics. And I can show you exactly where they are.
That is incredible. And I love the power in the way in which you know this. I mean, you know it. And so what a gift this book is. Lead with Your Light is an incredible gift for yourself and anyone else in your life. I love this too, because I think with as a woman in these roles and all the conditioning that goes on, I think it's very common to second guess yourself. At least, I've experienced that, where you're just like, well, gosh, is that the right way? Or should I do that? Or shouldn't I do that? And so I love that how powerfully you said that, in terms of like, there's no doubt in your mind that you can show women the way, in terms of tapping into
And
their power.
I can, and you will have the written evidence to this. I mean, when somebody tells you something, that's one thing, but when you see it all laid out in a report, it's kind of hard to dispute.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's really up to you whether you make the choice. Leadership is a choice, and it's up to you whether you make the choice to step into it or not. Not everybody wants to, and that's okay. But it's all there. It's just claim it, step into it.
I love this so much. Okay. Is there anyone else have any questions for Nancy before we conclude? Everyone's saying Diane saying I'm looking forward to it. Ankara's clapping and cheering. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. And Lisa's like, congratulations, Nancy. This has been inspiring. I cannot wait to read your book. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, my friends. Nancy, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'm just going to say a line that I have kind of coined in the book, and that's step out of the shadows and lead with your light.
Beautiful. Say it again so everybody really takes that in.
Step out of the shadows and lead with your light.
Beautiful. Love it so much. Thank you so much for being here for Nancy and showing up today, showing your leadership by being here. And
thank you, everybody. It was great to see you all.
I know, it's so much fun. And get Nancy's book. Let's just lift Nancy up right now. We're all on this rising ships together. Let's lift Nancy up. And thank you, Nancy, also for bringing your beautiful work to the world, to really help all of us lead in the most valuable, important way that we can while we're here. So thank you,
Tamara.
Thank you so much. I love you all. Take good care.
Thank you, everybody.